Hi, and welcome to another episode of Meghan Markle's debacles. How ironic is it that the dipshit and the douchebag are at it again? Yes, they're in Colombia. You know, that safe country that has no drugs, and there's no kidnappings, and there's no drug mules. There's no nothing. There's no corruption. It's as safe as houses. You know that country? The country that's way better than the UK, because the UK is extremely dangerous, isn't it? It's so dangerous. What a lot of bullshit. Now, I just want to talk to you about misinformation. Seeing as these two get up there and get their little microphones and pretend they're little too goody two shoes to put this out there, that they're going to work on misinformation, that we are the ones that have to decipher whether things are the truth or not, because misinformation is very dangerous. Because misinformation is put out there, then that misinformation goes on the streets. Now, you know what he's referring to, Harry, don't you? He's referring to the misinformation about the person that unfortunately murdered those children. And then there was riots in the streets. That's what he's talking about. Harry and Meghan really want to talk about misinformation? Well, I don't know about you, but I think a baby bump way below the birth canal between the knees is misinformation. The birth of Archie is misinformation, because there is definitely some discrepancies in the birth certificate. Therefore, I call that misinformation. Meghan saying that Princess Catherine made her cry when in fact she made her cry is misinformation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's misinformation. Meghan saying she loved her engagement ring and then went quickly and got it redesigned with a bigger diamond is misinformation. Harry going to see the king and saying, he only spared a few minutes for me and didn't allow me to stay at Buckingham Palace, when the king actually offered him to stay at the palace with their security, and Harry said no, he'd go into a hotel. Remember, in that very dangerous country, the UK, not with the security from the Buckingham Palace. And Harry put that spin out there with their PR team. That was misinformation. Do you also recall the Queen, that they said that the late Queen was really happy about them having the name Lilibet, her pet name? That was also misinformation. The fact that Harry was given, or nominated, shall I say, a Living Legend Aviation Award. That was misinformation too, because they paid for it along with all their other awards. It was all misinformation that they put out to the media. Misinformation. I don't think Harry and Meghan know what the words misinformation mean. Let's not forget that high-speed chase in New York City. Do you remember that high-speed chase? You know, the one that you can't go 2 kilometres per hour because, God forbid, you're gridlocked? That was also misinformation. A whole lot of bullshit, we call it. And also, do we recall the Queen very elegantly saying, recollections may vary? Because of course the Queen did it in such an elegant way, because that's who she was. Respectful, elegant, nice, compassionate. Something these two would never know what that's like. Recollections may vary. Now, in layman's terms, and in my humble opinion, means you're full of shit, Harry and Meghan, because we recall things differently. Again, what they put out there was misinformation. The fact that they said that the royal family was racist is misinformation. The fact that Meghan said, "Oh, no one taught me how to curtsy," was misinformation. The fact that Meghan said that she never knew who the royal family was, when, I'm sorry, but she was in Toronto, in Canada, when the Queen's face was on the dollar bill and she didn't know who the royal family was or Harry was, and she put that out there, That is misinformation. See, they like misinformation, don't they? They like to put out a narrative out there, don't they? But what they put out there is misinformation. So if they want to talk about misinformation, they should really talk about all the misinformation that they've put out there. Now, I can go on and on about the misinformation because we know all their bullshit that they've put out there. Let's not forget Meghan said when they first left the royal family that, oh, the drones were flying over. They found out that we were in this house where we were. The media found out when she was the one that was calling for those drones to be put out there. And she was the one calling the police and the media. Misinformation again. Let's not forget all her little car park walks. They're misinformation too because she calls the paparazzi. Talking about paparazzi, wasn't it also misinformation that she put out there that she kept trying to contact her father while he was in the hospital after he suffered a heart attack when she did not try and contact him? That was also misinformation. The fact that she sent paparazzi to make her father look terrible and then say that he was doing this and that with the media, that was also misinformation. Being 43% Nigerian is also misinformation. Dory is past. Not coming clean with that. That's also misinformation. They do a lot of it, don't they? Setting up their Sussex squad, which really is a terrorist group because that's all they do is they terrorise everyone on social media. Allegedly, these two are behind that group. That is also misinformation, isn't it? It's misinformation calling herself a princess all over the world. That's misinformation. Using the HRH title when they're not supposed to, that's misinformation. Telling the world they want a quiet life and be out of the spotlight, that's misinformation. Harry's saying that he's traumatized by all these cameras, but now his life is followed by cameras. That's misinformation. These two make me sick to the stomach. They literally make me want to puke. They are such liars. They are such frauds. They just like to grift off everybody and anybody. And now going to Colombia. Really? Really? He wants to go to Colombia and still spruik the bullshit that the UK is the most dangerous place out. But I'm never taking my wife back there. Did you notice how he said he's never taken his wife back there? He never once mentioned he was never taking his children back there. Why is that? Because maybe there's a bit of misinformation in that part too, isn't there? Because they are obviously ghosts. Do they exist? Or do they not exist? Well, in my humble opinion, I haven't seen them. Have you seen them? Photos here, there, and everywhere of just children. That could be misinformation as well. You see how these two roll? They're just... And now this woman speaking in Nigeria, Colombia. Nigeria was another one, wasn't it? She put them straight, didn't she? They also got stung with that, didn't they? Because that was misinformation. She was not happy. They are such full of shit. I can't stomach them. I can't even bear to listen to them talk. If I was them, I would bury my head in shame because they are just absolutely disgusting. Now, this last photo here, I don't know if you guys know, but this security guard here has been with Harry for 2 decades. Now, I know a lot of people going, oh, he left to be with Harry, to be on his security team, and the royal family is paying for it. No, here's my spin on it. You know, I think outside the box. Yeah, he did leave the royal family, but I believe the royal family cut a deal with this guy. Now, this is my opinion and my spin on it. I feel like he's been sent, not so much to make sure he's protected, more for the fact that he's got inside scoop on what Harry and Meghan are up to, if you know what I mean. I really feel like Harry and Meghan are getting hook-winked with this security guy. You see, I think the royal family have got their little spy with Harry and Meghan with this security guard. Let me know what you think. That's my theory. I do not believe the royal family is paying for their security over there. I do not believe that this guy's being paid by the royal family for Harry and Meghan. I believe the royal family may have a little bit of a internal spy happening here. That's just my theory. Because wouldn't that be the smart move to do? Let Harry think that this guy left the royal family just to be his security because, he loves him so much. Let me know what you guys think. And don't forget, no misinformation out there. Catch you on the next one.